and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thanks for joining us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. It is reported that every 2 seconds, someone is in need of blood. According to the World Health Organization, 54 countries collect more than 50% of their blood supply from family replacement or paid donors. Based on samples of 1,000 people, the blood donation rate is 31.5 donations in high-income countries and as low as 5 donations in low-income countries. In low-income countries, more than half of blood transfusions are given to children under 5 years old. My guest is a consultant hematologist and executive secretary, Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service, Dr. Bodurin Oshikomaya. You are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me once again.
The World Blood Donor Day is June 14th every year. Do you have specific objectives for this year?
The first thing about is every World Blood Donors Day is for us to say thank you to the voluntary blood donors that have been giving their blood and saving lives, and then to encourage people that have never given blood before to become voluntary donors. Third thing, to encourage already voluntary donors to give blood regularly, not just once a year. They should try to give blood at least 3 times a year. And finally, to tell our government, all our needs, what can be done to promote voluntary blood donation. But particularly this year, the WHO, that's the World Health Organization, had advised that we should bring up people that have benefited from blood donations. So this year, you're going to see a lot of our recipients coming up on social media to tell everybody that they have been beneficiaries of blood. Blood have saved their lives. They did not know who donated the blood for them. Some of them may be beneficiaries of family replacement donors. And so those replacement donors will tell you how we have tried to also make them voluntary donors.
Okay, before I go on to what was supposed to be my next question, why are you so bent, so particular about voluntary donors?
So the voluntary donors are the only way they can keep our blood banks full, because they know they have to come back when the time is right. Unlike a replacement donor that only comes when you ask him or her to donate blood. So a voluntary donor knows that, oh, every 3 to 4 months, I'm fit to donate blood. Please, could you have a health check? Am I eligible to donate blood again? And they come regularly to donate blood. Unlike the replacement donors, if you do not reach out to them, if their family members are not in need for blood, then they do not come up to donate blood.
Do you have a way of keeping this, should I call it bank of people? Do you remind them when it's time to come again for a donation?
Yes, so we do. So we have the donor retention team, much more than recruiting donors. At the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service, we have the donor retention team. So what the donor retention team does starts from the time of registration. So we communicate. Because they are voluntary donors, we have a relationship with them. We just, apart from that, they are donating blood for people they do not know, but they know the people collecting the blood from them. So they have a right to know what the blood will be used for. So it starts from the time the registration comes up. Then we have a customer relationship management tool that sends regular messages to our donors. It reminds them when they are supposed to donate blood. It tells, we wish them happy birthdays, we wish them happy anniversaries, and we wish them happy any holiday that comes.
You have a merry blood family.
So we so we communicate with them at all times, and they're much more than that. The things we give them at the point of donation is also a form of retention. Really? If I come to you, donate blood, and I give you a bag, you know, it's a memory. You just remember that this bag comes from this bag comes from this donation. Then we give T-shirts. You walk around with a T-shirt. You're like, you're a blood donor? Yes, I'm a blood donor. The fact that people know you are a voluntary blood donor also helps you to retain you in that voluntary donation pool. So
it's like a responsibility, so to speak.
Yes.
Do you have specific rules for your donors, things that they shouldn't do or should do to remain a proper donor?
So once you're a donor, we encourage a healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle starts from what you eat. Please don't just eat anything. Eat nutritious food, iron-containing food, food with a lot of vitamins. So you see a lot of our donors taking a lot of vegetables. Our donors take a lot of fluids. Many of our donors will tell you that I do not take carbonated drinks. I just want to take water, because water replenishes the fluid part of the blood. Our donors also live right. You will rarely find our donors having multiple sexual partners. Our donors do not share needles. Our donors do not go hand. They don't just do anything that would cost them, would jeopardize their ability to donate blood. Yeah.
They don't get tattoos because they are blood donors.
Well, the thing is that tattoos, if you have tattoos, you could be a temporary deferral. So you can donate blood if you have a tattoo after 1 year of having that tattoo. So if I had a tattoo today, then my next one will be a year from. So
taking a break from
yes,
for a whole year.
Yeah, so it's a temporary deferral. I will tell you, wait, you can't donate for now. That is the policy of the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service. Outside the country, some people will tell you you can donate blood after 6 months of having your tattoo. But in this vicinity, in this community, you donate blood after 1 year of having your tattoo.
But you say that only 37% of the population is eligible to be a donor.
Well,
why?
For me, I think it's a little bit different in different countries. So in countries that have a higher percentage of youths, more people are eligible to donate blood.
Like Nigeria?
So, like in Nigeria. So Nigeria has a higher percentage of, so we have more people eligible to donate blood compared to other countries that they have a older population. But that doesn't mean that all those that are eligible come up to donate blood. And that is why we are here, to enlighten them that you are eligible to donate blood. Come forward, let's see what you have, and then save your lives to the blood.
Okay, let's narrow down and show them who is eligible. How old must you be to start?
You must be between 18 and 65 years of age.
So below 18, you're disqualified?
Not really. There's always a clause. So if you are between 16 and 18 years old and you are of the right weight, that is at least 50 kilograms, you have adequate blood in your body, that is at least 12.5 for females and 13.5 for males, then you could have a parental consent to donate blood. So it matters. So outside the country that we have a lot of our children now, they are actually mini adults. So if they have the right weight and they have the right amount of blood in them and they have been able to answer all the questions in the donor eligibility questionnaires and they've been able to pass through all the stage, they can have a parental consent and donate blood.
Why do you think there's, should I call it blood donation apathy in these parts?
Well, in countries like Nigeria, not just Nigeria, third world countries normally, or low to medium income countries, there are lots of myths, first of all. People believe that if I donate my blood, something can happen to me.
Such as?
Okay, let me tell you a very funny one. That if they donate their blood, all their blessings and their glory
I
and
don't
their
believe
goodwill.
it in the 21st century.
Yes, some people still believe that to go to somebody else. Some people believe that the blood, they do not trust who used the blood, and they believe that they could use the blood for fetish things. So that also comes in
not
around
from
the
hospital.
Well, people believe all sorts. I also have another one for males that if they donate blood, they would have problems with their libido. I've heard that before.
Okay, please.
So
dispel that now, because that is a major concern.
Yes, it's a major concern. So we tell them that it's not going to affect you. There's nothing related to your blood donation and libido or your glory. Instead,
no, but don't you even ask some of
you.
those people? Haven't you seen men who have had accidents? Did anything happen to their libido?
No.
They lost
So that's
blood.
what we tell them, that they should just come in and see men that have donated and they are still donating, and they have lots of children and the wife is still with them. So we try to dispel those myths. But if you do not communicate with those in the community, then we do not get to know all these funny myths. So apart from that too, people do not donate blood because they feel they don't have enough with them. They do not know that they will be checked first before this blood will be collected. Just assume that you come in, you take their blood, and then they walk around anemic and they might collapse. So we try to tell them that we will have a health check first. We will do a full clinical check for them before any units of blood will be collected from them.
You do that also every time your regular donors come?
Yes, every time you donate blood, you must be checked to be sure that you are fit to donate blood.
So the person is sure they're going to be okay after they've donated a pint of blood?
After they donate blood.
They will not be anemic?
They will not be anemic, so we must do that.
Assuming somebody says today, I want to donate blood, where does the person go to?
Well, in Lagos State, you can go to any of our state health facilities. I mean that I talk about the General Hospital, and then we can talk about the Lagos State Teaching Hospital. All of them have got blood donation centers. At the Lagos Blood Transfusion Service, we have 100% voluntary donation centers, so that when you go there, you're not going to meet an ill person, you're not going to mix up with any other person, because most of our donors, they do not like to see other people. They don't like the hospital environment.
Okay,
so we take them to our voluntary donation centers. You go, they are within hospital environments, but you will not see people coming for other investigations there. So you come in, all you have to do is just to donate blood, you watch your television, we treat you as kings and queens, and you leave. So you're also encouraged to come there. Also now, because more of citizens, more of the people living around here are beginning to have the awareness of donating blood, we have licensed some private facilities to donate blood. So you can go to some private facilities and donate your blood voluntarily. But the first thing you must look out for is the Lagos State logo that is usually hung on their reception.
So you sort of certify them with that logo?
With that logo. So you will see this logo on it.
Okay, good one. Who exactly? Okay, we've dealt with who should donate. How do you make sure your blood is safe? By safe I mean whoever is getting that blood doesn't come down with something funny, or doesn't have a reaction, or doesn't get sick. But before you answer that, we're going to go to break. Stay with us. We're going on break. More on how you can be a blood donor. Welcome back. It's Health Matters on Channels Television. We're talking about blood donation with Dr. Bodurin Oshikomaya. You can call 0808-054-2233 if you have questions on blood donation. moalale@channels.tv is my email. You can send email there with any of your questions or suggestions or your comments. You can also tweet at CTV_Mary A. We were going to talk about how safe the blood is.
So blood safety starts from who gives the blood. And that's why we encourage voluntary donation. So a voluntary donor does not lie about his or her status. A voluntary donor will tell you, yesterday I went somewhere I shouldn't, or I took alcohol yesterday, or I took this. So voluntary blood donors are usually very, very truthful about their health status, because they are doing it to save lives as well as to save their lives. So we encourage...
They were not forced.
They are not forced.
So they have a good intention.
They have a good intention. So the first thing is, where does the blood comes from? The second thing is how the blood is collected. Every time we collect blood, we use sterile equipment, sterile consumables. We encourage our donors to look at the blood bags. The blood bags should be open in their presence. The needle caps should be cut open too in their presence. And the skin around that area must be well clean. So we tell our donors, we go out and advocate, nobody must put anything in you except the surface of your hands where the needle will go in. It's well cleaned with methylated spirit or povidone iodine. After that, the blood is observed for at least 24 hours. We don't just take blood from the donor and then go and cross-match. There are so many things we'll see during the 24 hours of observation. We look at the plasma, that is the upper part of the blood.
The clear part of the blood.
So sometimes it's colored. I've seen one that is greenish in color. We had to look.
What was in there?
We had to send the donors to the doctors. We could have taken anything. We didn't know what it was. It looks abnormal, and we had to send them back. Sometimes look at blood clots in blood. The blood bag. When too much blood is taken into the blood bag, it could make blood clots to be in the blood bag, and that is very dangerous for the person that's going to be transfused with blood. So there are so many things we look out for in the blood during the 24-hour period. And then the blood is screened by a 4th generation ELISA technology. This reduces to the barest minimum the percentage of false positives or false negative results. And this is according to what the World Health Organization has said. After this is done, the blood is stored in cold chain of between 2 to 6 degrees centigrade until there is a request from the doctors for that need for blood. So when this is done, we don't just give the blood to. This must be cross-matched. There must be a compatibility test. So the compatibility test, it's divided into two, the grouping and the cross-matching.
Okay, before you go on, I'm sure viewers will want to know what is negative and what is positive?
Yes.
What are you looking for?
So when we talk about group negative and positive, usually when we talk about the groups, so we have different blood group systems. The most common blood group systems are the ABO blood groups and the rhesus blood groups. So the ABO blood groups are actually things on the cells. It tells you the type that you have, and we have
who
the
can
A.
take it?
Yes, who can take it? Yeah. So we have the A blood group, we have the AB blood group, we have the AB blood group, and the O blood groups, and then we have the rest of which is either negative or positive. So an individual is classified based on 2 of those blood groups. So we must combine them together. That's why you hear people say, I'm A positive, I'm A negative, I'm O positive,
okay,
I'm O
so
negative.
one question.
Yeah.
What is the blood that is easiest to give everybody?
O negative.
O negative, okay. Some people don't qualify. And I hear that there are not really many of them.
We have few O negatives in Nigeria here. Generally, the black population, they have lesser number of O negatives compared to other blood groups.
So you really need more blood to be donated.
We need a lot of O negatives.
I heard something about mobile blood donation units.
Yes.
What happened to that idea?
We have one now. So right now, I'm proud to say that the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service has its own mobile blood donation van. We can go anywhere to get blood. We used to have issues about accessibility. Now accessibility is no problem. Anytime we go for advocacies, we go with our mobile blood donation vans. It's like you are preaching the word. You are preaching, you want to convert somebody.
Of good blood.
Yeah. So immediately, you know, the thing about preaching something or trying to convert someone is that the action is usually good for the action to be done immediately.
That's right.
So I tell you, it's good to donate blood. They're like, so it's good. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's usually best for the donation to be immediate. But when you go home, there's still some people that still have those old myths. I know you're a young convert, it becomes difficult. So once we go for all this awareness and sensitization talks, and somebody finally donates, that person becomes our ambassador, because the person will go back and tell you, I was told that I should donate blood, I donated blood, there is no problem, I don't have all those things in your myths, and you should too join in the bandwagon to donate blood.
Does blood expire? When you put it in the bank, does it get old? Do you have to throw it away?
Yes, blood can expire. The expiry date of blood depends on the type of anticoagulant used. So the anticoagulant you use in Nigeria or Lagos State here is makes blood last for only 35 days. So after 35 days...
That is short. That is really short.
So you know why you need to donate blood. We need Lagos State Nigerians to constantly and regularly donate blood, because the expiration date of blood is only 35 days.
Now you talk about a national, you know, robust, sustainable, resilient blood donation system. Describe what it would look like.
Well, we already have that in the template.
Oh, you're just
national. I am look, because I believe so much in what the National Blood Service Commission have for us. So we have a blueprint of what it should be, and we are hoping that very soon we are going to have at least 1 million units of blood per annum. So regularly we should have at least all over Nigeria some amounts of blood at some specific centers. So the blueprint means that every community will begin to donate blood. We will retain these donors. We'll keep them in as much as possible, and we'll ensure that they have very good facilities. There's something about ensuring that they are in the national insurance scheme, so that their health care is also put into place. We even talked about having their kids in scholarships.
Oh,
so
wow.
No, not from the federal
no,
government.
it's okay.
We bring in donors.
I'm just getting excited.
Yes,
it's
we bring
okay.
in donors to support the families of voluntary blood donors, so that many people want to do. Something needs to bring them in. Something needs to make voluntary blood donors to continue to be voluntary blood donors and not deviate to be either replacements or commercial donors.
When you put it like that, I think everybody will want to come for blood. Okay, so I want to address the referral system. Somebody goes to let's even start from the patient. Okay, you know a patient needs blood. Does he have to go collect his blood, or does the hospital get it for him? Let's start from there.
So when a patient needs blood, the patient is the patient and is supposed to remain in the hospital facility. It is the responsibility of the hospital facility to ensure that the patient gets blood. So one of the ways we can do that, we have third-party logistic partners. So if the hospital has blood within their blood bank, the required blood group within the blood bank, the hospital attendants, the nurses, and the doctors have a way of making sure that the blood gets to the wards. If the blood group is not available in that facility, the hospital is to make arrangements with a third-party logistic body to ensure that the blood is gotten to from where the blood is available to where the blood is needed.
Okay, so right in one breath, you answered both of my questions.
Yes.
The referral system,
Yes.
is it strong enough that your patient will get the blood he needs or she needs within how long?
Well, it is not as strong as you think. So it depends on where the blood is. So our third-party logistic systems, which some of us know now, we give them a turnaround time. We encourage them, you must have a turnaround time of 20 minutes, of 10 minutes, but it also depends on where this blood is. Because blood is scarce, there are times when the needed blood, especially when it's a rare blood group like O negative, the blood might be somewhere far. So, but we encourage all our third-party logistic bodies to go to the closest blood bank to get their blood. So in such cases, it's usually an emergency unit of blood. The blood must be cross-matched before it leaves that facility. So emergency cross-match is about 15 minutes. So once the blood that is needed is requested for, the blood bank will at least have an idea of the blood group while they wait for the blood sample of the patient for an emergency cross-match, and then bikes will take it back there. So all our third-party logistic bodies use bikes. We do not allow them to use vehicles or ambulances.
So that hold-ups will not keep them in traffic. Okay, in 30 seconds, tell me who needs blood? Who?
Yes.
Is it just those who have accidents, bloodletting?
No. So you started with accidents. People that lose blood from accidents, people that lose blood from pregnant women that lose blood following delivery. So they are the people that use the most amount of blood. They can request for 20 units of blood at the same time.
Wow.
Once the blood comes in, especially during anything that can happen following deliveries, even when the baby is there, we have things like placenta previa that could even make a woman continue to lose blood. So apart from all these ones, we have people with inherited disorders like hemophilias and people with sickle cell disease. A high percentage of Nigerians have sickle cell traits, so it means that more people have sickle cell disease. They need blood to remain alive.
All
people
right,
with
I'm
cancer,
fully convinced, but we can't let you go on. We've got to close. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
So much for coming. I forgot how much fun you are. Thank you at home for listening to us there.
Yes,
Thank you for being with us throughout this segment. Now you know why you should be a blood donor. You have a wonderful day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.